Добрый день, меня зовут Бардаков Игорь, я руководитель Tech Global Academy компании Инвест. Данный проект направлен на повышение компетенций наших партнеров, обучение тонкостям работы в других регионах. Также мы организуем различные мероприятия в других регионах, такие как бизнес-миссии, бизнес-мэтчинг, образовательные вебинары о российских технологиях и их возможностях для потенциальных партнеров. Это позволяет компаниям выйти на новый рынок, найти новых партнеров и клиентов, а также изучить местный рынок, выявить актуальность предлагаемых решений, повысить осведомленность целевой аудитории о компании и о продуктах, поделиться примерами успешных реализованных кейсов и получить обратную связь. И в рамках цикла этих мероприятий сегодня мы проводим вебинар по Индии. И наши сегодняшние спикеры – это наши партнеры в данной стране. Они расскажут о особенностях успешного ведения IT-бизнеса в стране, а также о возникших возможностях для российских компаний. Напомню, что у нас есть специальный раздел, где вы можете задавать свой вопрос. Мы ответим на него в течение вебинара, либо в конце мероприятия. А также у нас есть чат, где вы можете высказать свои пожелания, предложения, а также обменяться контактами с участниками вебинара. И я передаю слово своему коллеге Олегу Смирнову, который курирует данный регион у нас в компании и успешно реализует проекты с российскими компаниями в Индии. Олег, привет, тебе слово.
Да, привет, спасибо тебе большое. Да, добрый день, коллеги. Я, собственно, региональный директор на Индию. И на самом деле надо сказать пару слов про ребят, которые будут сейчас выступать. Это не столько даже наши партнеры, сколько практически часть нашей компании. Это практически это joint venture. И я не буду вдаваться сейчас глубоко в цифры, во всякие подробности. Я предоставлю это делать моим индийским коллегам. Но что бы хотелось сказать в качестве такого большого, небольшого обзорного инсайта по рынку. Наличие у нас, несмотря на государственную поддержку, наличие у нас в регионе JV обусловлено глубокими причинами. Дело в том, что Индия – это очень специфический рынок, который в основном экспортирует IT, а рынок внутренний айтишной Индии, он достаточно конкурентный. Он перенасыщен, в том числе западными вендорами, он перенасыщен местными системными интеграторами, партнерами и так далее. То есть конкуренция на рынке достаточно высокая. В этой связи принципиально для компаний, которые хотят или планируют выходить на рынок, принципиально иметь присутствие. Это огромный психологический момент для индийских компаний, которые являются конечными потребителями технологий. Да? То есть им принципиально важно видеть присутствие физической компании на рынке. Я думаю, это достаточно известный факт, но тем не менее хотелось бы еще раз его подчеркнуть. Что касается самого рынка Индии, структуру рынка, об отраслях подробнее расскажут опять же индийские партнеры, но что хотелось бы сказать вначале. Скорее всего, вы уже сталкивались с этим, но вам будут говорить, и, в общем, не без причины, что Индия – это, в принципе, volume market. Да? То есть огромное количество компаний SMB-сектора, которые, по большому счету, частенько не имеют возможности устанавливать решения тяжелые и большие в контур. Поэтому огромная часть рынка в Индии занимают сервис-провайдеры, то есть компании, которые занимаются предоставлением облачных услуг, компании, которые сами разрабатывают какие-то решения. Да? То есть частенько сталкивались в процессе работы с тем, что имеется, допустим, какой-то аналог. На самом деле не только в Tech Global, я работаю на рынке уже что-то без малого 12 лет. Частенько технологические компании сталкиваются с тем, что наличествует местный аналог, который будет дешевле, который будет поддерживаться местной же компанией полностью, то есть весь цикл поддержки будет находиться в Индии, и в этом случае индийские компании частенько выбирают место. То есть это надо понимать и в таком случае взаимодействовать именно с местными сервисными компаниями, да, если дело касается рынка облачных услуг. Что касается тяжелой серверной инфраструктуры, которая не предоставляется в облаке там, по причине, например, безопасности, по причине каких-то требований к хранению данных, это также рынок достаточно тяжелый. Индийский, он точно так же перенасыщен американскими вендорами, западными вендорами. В связи с этим крайне необходимо, да, очень четко представлять целевую аудиторию своего продукта. То есть продукт должен быть в какой-то степени уникальным для того, чтобы конкурировать. То есть самое страшное в Индии – это когда в процессе переговоров упираешься в переговоры по цене. И исключительно по цене. Это достаточно тяжелая ситуация для переговоров на регионе, то есть в любом случае надо понимать, что выгодно отличает тебя от конкурента. Вот. То есть если брать общий такой совет, наверное, для российских технологических компаний, для российских технологических решений, это взаимодействие с местными партнерами, обязательно наличие какого-то представительства в Индии, возможно, совместного, и активное сотрудничество с местными компаниями, как системными интеграторами, так и сервис-провайдерами. Без этого на рынок, к сожалению, не зайти. Плюс сейчас ситуация еще дополнительно усложняется тем, что эпидемия никуда не девалась, то есть рынок в Индии находится, особенно государственный, находится в достаточно плачевном состоянии в плане бюджета. То есть сейчас на первый план выходит знание каких-то критических отраслей, где либо производство нельзя остановить, либо оно является критическим для других каких-то цепочек, и нужно очень четко понимать, какие критические решения необходимы для этих отраслей. То есть необходимо глубокое знание рынка, глубокая экспертиза именно в рынке. У нас такое знание наличествует, и наличествует оно там у нашей команды и у наших, собственно, партнеров в Индии, которых сейчас я представлю. Будет, собственно, Киртхи, это, собственно, они на самом деле совершенно одинаковые грубо говоря, по старшинству. У Киртхи больше опыт в оборонке, Баладжи в свое время очень долго и плодотворно работал в Reliance в качестве регионального менеджера. То есть опыт и в ритейле имеется, и в нефтяном секторе. Соответственно, я передаю слово моим индийским коллегам. Ну и, собственно, спасибо большое.
Colleagues, Kirti and Balaji, the floor is yours, please.
Hi guys. Hi everyone. Good morning to you all.
Hi everyone.
Yeah. So today's presentation, I'll be very thankful to the team at local team in Moscow from Tech Global for arranging this conference call for us, for actually taking forward. Looking forward, we would like to discuss and brief you all about the business opportunities for the IT vendors in India, and how there are a lot of initiatives being taken by the government of the country for encouraging the foreign vendors and technology providers and other manufacturers for setting up base and setting up business in India. So the presentation for the day is called India is Now a Momentum for Russian IT Players. We would be giving you a brief overview of the country as a whole and the opportunities, some government projects and opportunities, private sector opportunities, and the strategies for doing business in India. So I would like to start the thing with giving a brief overview of the country as a whole. I'm sure some of you might be already aware about these things. So overall GDP for India is like more than $2 trillion. And as you're well aware about the fact that India has emerged as one of the fastest growing economies in the world. So obviously it opens up a lot of business opportunities for the businesses which are planning to set up a base here in India. And at the same time, over the past 20 years, the FDI inflows into the country has seen many-fold increase. So government is encouraging a lot of make in India initiatives and localization with a lot of tax incentives and different tax structures and export benefits and full guidance and support in setting up the manufacturing facilities or the local businesses for the vendors. And if you go on to see, India's labor force is expected to be more than 150 to 160 million by December 2020. So like India being the second most populous country, we take the population of the country both as an advantage and a disadvantage. Disadvantage for obvious reasons, and at the same time it opens up a lot of business opportunities because of the huge population that is existing. So I'll start the brief discussion mentioning about the Ministry of Electronics and IT in India. So this is basically the nodal agency which creates and which set up all the matters, policy matters related to technology, information technology, electronics and internet. So it provides assistance to a lot of departments in promotion of technology, e-governance, e-commerce, infrastructure. It basically bridges the gap between the corporation and the government. So there has been a lot of promotional activities for internet, broadband services, digital payments, digital transactions, IT enabled services, cyber laws, cyber security. So all these things have to be controlled and monitored by a certain agency which is owned and completely working under the government of India. So that ministry is Ministry of Electronics and IT. So all the matters relating to cyber laws, promotion and manufacturing of all technological devices in the country, including the semiconductor devices, are the matter of Ministry of Electronics. So there is a lot of testing and quality analysis and quality testing in IT and standardization for procedure for IT taxes and applications. So all this has been taken care of by the Ministry of IT. Even the National Informatics Center and one of the most prestigious and ambitious plans of Indian government is Unique Identification Authority of India. Aadhaar cards, which are similar to the social security number, which is prevalent in the United States. And I'm sure there is a social security kind of an application in Russia too. So Aadhaar is like one of the most ambitious plans of the Indian government, and they intend to connect each and every citizen of the country to the government so that the government is aware about each of the transactions of individuals and they can connect digitally with each one of them. Repeated hard copies or physical copies of documents need not be circulated every now and then, so that everything is related to your Aadhaar number, which can be linked to your biometric devices, and biometric takes care of the rest of the things. So now, when it comes to various business opportunities which have opened up because of these initiatives by the government of India, we would like to start the discussions today with some defense opportunities. Defense is of utmost importance to and the defense budgets for India are one of the highest in the country because of various reasons. India shares a major part of its border with Pakistan, China, Bangladesh, and as you all must be aware about it, because of obvious reasons, India has to take care of a lot of uncertainties which are because of some of the neighboring countries and because of the varied altitudes and terrains and climatic conditions, it gets really difficult for any human intervention in such areas. So one of the projects in focus is comprehensive integrated border management system. So this is basically like we are now talking about stage 2 and stage 3, which is covering about close to 1,900 kilometers of border. And the defense agencies are looking at solutions for detecting and controlling of cross-border crimes. So border checkpoints are also a critical area of border security, and they definitely require a lot of layers of protection. There are a lot of video analytics and facial recognition requirement, biometric identification. There are a lot of handheld devices which are used for scanning. There can be some technologies for examining the vehicles which are moving at the border areas. There can be something for license plate recognition, and of course the barriers and barricades, and maybe smart fences. Because of this comprehensive integrated border management system, the same is opening up a lot of business opportunities for high-end technological solutions in the fields I have mentioned above. I have mentioned, so we can take it up. I mean, because of having a local presence and strong connect in the local governments and the agencies, we can assist the Russian vendors in entering the right places and presenting and taking forward the required solutions. And another major focus thing is perimeter security. So this is basically for protection of water areas from swimmers and unmanned vehicles along the border of the country, and basically subsea targets. These are some of the components of the border management. So I would like to introduce a bit of border management, how actually it came into the picture, or why the Indian government actually felt the need of having a smart border fencing projects or comprehensive border management. It was mainly because of the trigger that happened because of unrest situations or uncertainties along with the neighboring countries. And Jammu and Kashmir has always been a vulnerable area, and there have been a lot of cross-border strikes in the area. So the smart border fencing projects are also a major part of CIBMS, which again opens up a lot of business opportunities. Basically large consignment of basically need of high-tech border surveillance is mainly towards the India Pakistan and India Bangladesh borders, because lot of border security forces have detected a lot of illegal activities and cross borders tunneling in Jammu and Kashmir and other areas. So internationally, even the countries like the United States have tried high-tech solutions for securing the borders, especially after the 9/11 attack, which happened in the New York City. Because of this border management solutions, it would really enhance the surveillance and detection capabilities of the border forces. This would definitely give reduce the human intervention and border guarding personnel at the borders. And at the end of the day, technical solutions and advanced technologies are definitely required to actually complement the traditional methods of border guarding. So I've already discussed some of the key focus areas and the opportunities. So here the opportunities, see, most of the government procurement in the field of defense comes under Home Ministry and the Ministry of Defense. So Indian government is, again, as I mentioned earlier in my presentation and during the discussions, there is a lot of promotion for Make in India, and government is passing on benefits to a lot of companies which are setting up their local bases. And another reason for having a local base in a country like India is up to a value of around 25 to 30 million, there would be no global tenders. All the government procurement would be held from local companies, which was recently announced by the government and our Prime Minister. And one of the major reasons, another ones which the Indian buyers and clients or the government as a whole is facing with foreign vendors, which are not having a local base, is they are facing a lot of difficulties in after sales and support. We have been discussing with a lot of clients regarding other products and vendors from Russian origin, and most of them have a similar issue that they are not getting the kind of after sales support and service which is expected and required.
And also, I'm very sorry to interrupt you, Kirti, but basically, I wanted to mention that even when the tenders are played, when the RFPs are published, oftentimes the RFP is not for a solution, but usually it sounds like expression of interest, like they're searching for a partner to design and to deliver a certain system. So even an RFP is published not for a solution, but rather for a local partner to provide the solution. And it's basically in the text of the tender.
Yes, exactly. That's a very valid point which you have made, Alec. The main reason for inviting expression of interest before the final RFP by the government is even the government wants to have a look at the international technologies and vendors which are not available in India. So basically, once we as a local partner can assist the government in actually consulting and designing the final RFPs, maybe we can have our inputs and we can have our technologies according to the advanced technologies which are available in the countries like Russia and CIS. We can definitely present our solutions, and if they have some certain USPs, we can definitely keep going and having a better chances of getting the contracts. Anything else you would like to add on, Alec, on that, or you like to focus, or you like me to focus on something specific in here?
No, I think, I mean, you're doing a perfect job. I just mentioned that, like, basically there is no option to just go and take part in any like governmental tender, almost no option to take part in any governmental tender for a foreign company due to Make in India, due to all the facts that you have mentioned. So always, or even when the expression of interest takes place, it's oftentimes an Indian company that's going to take part, and that's it. It's just proving the point that a direct intervention for foreign companies into the market is more or less impossible at the time being. That's it. Please proceed, Kirti.
Yeah. Here, I would like to talk about an initiative by the government that's called Digital India. So again, like how I mentioned earlier in my presentation, that the population of the country can be a disadvantage as well as an advantage. So here we have more than 235 million people in India who are accessing internet through their mobile smartphone devices. So this is one of the main reasons for everyone from e-commerce companies to telecom companies to the banking and financial services to actually come up with solutions which are more mobile and to penetrate on mobile internet penetration, especially and I would like to mention that right now also more than half of the population doesn't have access to broadband connectivity or internet. So again, in the coming 5 to 8 years, that would definitely open up a lot of opportunities for us. So this is a brief overview of the Digital India, where the main focus has been on digital payments, digital documentation for each of the citizens. Again, Aadhaar, linking of Aadhaar card and social security with mobile phones, bank accounts, their job profiles and everything. Cyber security is becoming one of the major areas, and a huge amount of budget has been allocated to the same. The reason for the same is when the government is promoting digital payments and digital transaction and urging the public to move on to digital platforms, it automatically opens up a lot of business for IT and IT enabled services and industries, because more and more data is being stored, and at the same time the data needs to be secured. So that is where the endpoint security, cyber security and all other things comes into the picture. And the allocation for digital payments are around $30 million. And the Indian government has already spent close to 450 to $500 million. Like how I mentioned, one of the most ambitious projects of Indian government was the issuance of Aadhaar cards. They have issued Aadhaar cards to almost 1.23 billion people in India as a part of Digital India. So going ahead, everything is expected to be connected to these Aadhaar cards. They are already connected and they have a database of biometric fingerprints of the entire population. So biometric can be used in many for many verifications and for getting info about and info and background check of the individuals. So these are some of the pillars of Digital India, and I would like to mention the vision and vision areas for Digital India. So one of the major things of the government is to have digital infrastructure to each and every citizen in every corner of the country. So availability of high-speed internet is one of the major delivery of services to the citizens. So over the next coming years, there would be broadband connectivity or optical fibers throughout the country. So that actually opens up some opportunities for broadband service providers or Wi-Fi service providers or some routers or some switches or some other hardware related to the broadband connectivity and at the same time security. So this would give easy access to common service center which is being set up by the government. Along with that, some cloud space is being provided, which would be used by the citizens of the country, and some governance on services on demand and the seamless integration of services along across some departments and all the jurisdictions like courts and the government departments, universities. I mean, everything would be available at a click of a button. And because of so much digital, I mean, at the same time, India, the percentage of literacy is also at a lower level. So we need to actually literate the population to actually use digital platforms. So even though the digital availability of the resources would be there in the coming years, but it needs to, one of the most important areas is to actually literate the population to use that information in an effective way. So again, as I mentioned, one of the pillars I'll be taking care, e-governance is one of the major pillars of Digital India. So one of the major responsibilities of e-governance is to have repositories for certificates, educational degrees, identity proofs, identity documents, etc. So that everything is related and everything is put up on a database linked to a particular citizen, which can be accessed by any person. So a lot of technology has been put in and a lot of expenses are being done over providing education or e-education. Almost 250,000 schools in India are being connected via broadband. This would actually open up a program for digital literacy, which would be taken up at a national level because of digital initiatives being such a big agenda for the government of India. This would definitely have some impact on the overall usage. Along with that, technology would be used for healthcare, security, financial inclusion, planning, cybersecurity, GIS-based planning. Even the land documents and property documents are being digitalized. University documents are being digitalized. Healthcare documents would have pan-India exchange for patient information. All the patient's information would be uploaded on a centralized server, wherein even the doctors, the healthcare professionals, other healthcare professionals, and the patients, the database would be on a single platform, and it would make it really easy for everyone to actually access the information and come up with the best solution to each and every one. Basically, in the case, now I've discussed about the opportunities which are available in the field of e-governance. I would like to share the procurement cycle for the vendors which is going on in e-governance. So basically, it's a new concept in India. So most of the times what happens is even the government departments are not 100% aware about the kind of technology can be utilized or can be implemented to make things and life easier for the citizens. So in such a case, like how Oleg also mentioned earlier, government or the department comes up with an expression of interest, highlighting the business case and the requirement for procurement. So it assesses its existing contracts and accordingly drafts the need for fresh procurements. And then the procurement strategy is defined, and according to the business case and the expression of interest and the requirements, the final RFP or the bidding document is prepared. And then the same RFP is published, and then the selection of vendor takes place and the final contract is signed, and then the monitoring and review of the contract takes place. I'm really sorry for this. Yeah, I would like to hand it over to Balaji, our colleague. He will be taking it forward from here.
Thanks, Kirti. So I'll give you information about some other opportunities in Digital India pillar. So the second opportunity will be broadband highways. Under this broadband highway, Government of India is planning to achieve three main goals. First one would be national information infrastructure. So, Kirti, can you share? Can I share the screen or? Yeah. The first goal of broadband highway pillar is creation of national information infrastructure. So under this program, Government of India is aiming to create and integrate the network and cloud infrastructure in the country, which will be enabling the providing of high-speed connectivity along with cloud platform to various government departments, as mentioned by Kirti in e-governance sector. So second goal will be providing broadband for all urban users. Currently, the number of users is on a rise, and you can see there is an exponential growth in the number of users in India using the mobile network. So Indian government is aiming to increase the speed of connectivity in urban areas. If you see, there are around 250,000 village panchayats. Panchayat is actually a rural area where it is the node of the country where national optical fiber network is planned, and Department of Telecommunications is taking this project. So if we have some Russian solution provider in terms of increasing the efficiency of internet transmission, or in terms of DWDM solutions, then we can propose the solution to BharatNet. So BharatNet is an telecom infrastructure provider which is created by Government of India, and it is responsible for creation, establishment, and operations of all national optic fiber across the country. And all optical fiber cable connections are taken care by BharatNet in India. So we can always reach out to BharatNet, and we can propose our solution, and we can participate in the tender along with system integrators in the country. Kitty, please, next slide. This is now I'd like to talk about Smart City Initiative. This is a mission which has been brought by current Government of India, and I'll just give an introduction about Smart City. A smart city is a city which incorporates information and communication technology, and which increases the quality of living of citizens by adapting to smart technology. Currently, there are 3 phases planned for smart cities, and in phase 1, there have been 100 smart cities that have been identified, and each smart city will attract an investment of $133 million, like $66.5 million each by state government and $66.5 million each by central government. Along with this, there is an investment of $13 billion by Urban Development Mission for development of smart city. So, keep the next slide, please. Under this smart city, if you see, the project areas would be in terms of smart living, smart environment, and smart mobility. In smart living, government is planning to implement smart utility management, warning systems, security systems, connected Wi-Fi along with Internet of Technologies, and street lighting, e-healthcare. In smart environment, government is planning to increase the efficiency of operations of waste management and efficient use of resources. And the third one would be smart mobility in terms of smart parking, traffic management, automated fare collection, and integrated ticketing system. In India, if you see, the population is huge and the number of vehicles is growing every day. So in order to manage the traffic and everything, so smart mobility will be the key solution in smart city project. Next slide, please. Yeah, I would like to introduce about one smart city which has been in focus for many companies. That is Bangalore Smart City. It is called IT Hub of India, and it is a place which attracts large number of investors because of presence of resources. So the budget for this city is $100 million more than the allocated budget. If you see the smart revitalization of this entire city, the budget allocation is $155 million. This includes smart environment projects, smart mobility projects, and smart living projects. Along with this, there are a number of redevelopment projects, automated systems, and online conversion systems which would incorporate e-governance projects. All these have been budgeted to about $227 million. Next slide, please. Yeah. Now I would like to talk about the growing sector in the country, which is cybersecurity. With COVID-19 pandemic in place, the number of people working in the country, working from home in the country has increased multiple times, and almost every company has allowed its resource to work from home. So the number of cyber attacks have been on a constant rise. The PwC, one of the big four consulting companies, has estimated that the market size of cybersecurity in India will be $3.05 billion by 2022, which is a compound annual growth rate of 15.6%. The foremost sector with a major market share would be banking and financial sector, since it involves a large number of confidential data being transferred from one end to other. So this by the end of 2022, it is estimated to be around $800 million. The second sector would be IT and ITES. Since a large number of IT people are working from home, all IT companies, almost every IT company is looking for cybersecurity solution to increase the data security in terms of working from home. The third sector would be government. Almost all the data, if you see the other, which Kirti mentioned under Digital India program, almost 1.3 billion people data is being stored by Government of India, which includes biometrics and personal data. So Government of India is planning to have cybersecurity solutions for securing the data and all other e-governance projects. Now I'll say what is necessitating the security investment in the country. If you see, there are over 12.3 billion mobile applications that were downloaded in India in 2018. The number of digital payments transaction has been constantly growing, and by 2023, it is estimated to be $135 billion. Current government is transferring all the money, the physical form of money into digital payment, so that it erases the black money concept and it increases the efficiency of operations and transparency in the system. So by the end of 2023, we can expect almost 80% of the cash transactions to be happening over digital form. The number of the other reason would be the number of social users in the social network users in the country is expected to grow by $422 million by the end of 2022, with the number of with the cost of internet connectivity is significantly low when compared to the developed countries. And if you see the number of e-transactions that have been recorded in 2019 is $47.5 billion, which is one of the largest across the globe. So PwC has estimated that there will be the market of cybersecurity will be growing at 1.5x than the global rate. And currently, to quote a key figure, there is a threefold increase in cybersecurity incidents since this pandemic. I'll briefly go through in key focus areas where cybersecurity solutions will play a major role. First and foremost will be privacy and data protection. Government of India is demanding for solutions from vendors which will be used across all e-governance projects, so that all the data related to land, whatever the Aadhaar and all e-governance projects is secure and without any cyber attack. Because if a cyber attack is happening and there is a leakage of data, a number of people's personal data will be at stake. So government has published personal data protection bill, which which involves cybersecurity will be key. Sorry for it. Cybersecurity will be the key solution for it. And the second one would be demand for cloud security. With the number of solutions and data being stored in cloud, then the need for cloud security has been on an increase. The third one would be IoT security. Government of India is coming up with the smart city projects, and all smart mobility, all the systems require IoT security solutions from cybersecurity vendors, which will enable them to operate without any threats and interventions from the third-party attacks from other countries. The fourth one would be endpoint security. With a number of people working from home, the number of gadgets which are given by company to end use its employees is on increase, and cybersecurity, their companies are looking for cybersecurity solutions to provide data security during transfer and working from home. The fifth one would be role of artificial intelligence and machine learning. All the companies are creating cyber war rooms, and they are being powered by artificial intelligence and machine learning. This by default is detecting and creating a security operation center, which would keeping all the threats at bay for companies. The final one would be building breach response. Companies are adapting to security operation centers, which are mainly required to protect companies' key properties like intellectual properties, brand equity, business data, and business systems. So I would suggest this market entry solution for Russian vendors. We, Anista Infotech, along with Tech Global, will be introducing the Russian cybersecurity company to partner with the Indian system integrator who is dealing with three sectors such as banking and financial services, IT, ITES, and government sector. We will be enabling them to create an effective partnership for a Russian cybersecurity company, and together with Indian system integrator, we can propose suitable solutions for all government and private cybersecurity projects which are being underway, and we are expecting some tenders to be floated by all government departments for cybersecurity solutions. Now,
guys, can I just get a word here? Basically, cybersecurity in India is especially competitive because local companies like Tata Group, for instance, and other like major enterprises and even enterprises of not of that like scale, they basically provide cybersecurity services locally. So as my colleague mentioned, the best way to go is to partner with them. However, I wanted to, guys, Katia and Balaji, there was a question in chat from Christian Berger. Are there any requests in smart cities projects for traffic control and management centers against crowded networks or for toll roads? So could you please just, answer the questions? Thanks.
Yes. Almost every city which is being under the purview of smart city, there is a segment which is requesting for solutions in smart mobility, that is smart parking and traffic management. To quote an example, there is a project in Bangalore smart city itself which necessitates adoption of smart mobility systems. Russian vendors, if we have Russian solutions for smart traffic management system, and which is already implemented in Russia, we can use it as a testimonial and propose it to Bangalore Smart City Corporation, and we can take it forward. Oleg, did that answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. I would also like to add that in Tech Global, we are also aiming at transport systems in general because it's one of the rapidly growing markets in India right now. There are like bus rapid transits, there are like paid roads, toll roads. I've had a chance to try some of them myself. And of course, the market is right now is rapidly growing and there is a huge demand for that. So it is certainly one of our primary markets right now at the time being. Thanks.
Yes, to just add on to that, I mean, even if you see more modern modes of transport like metro and monorail and everything, there are only couple of cities in India which have full-fledged network of metro connectivity. Rest of the cities are just coming up with, and it would be completed in over next 3-4 years. So again, that opens up a lot of opportunities for automated fare collection and other smart mobility like smart parking and other things when the market is growing and developing and open to accepting new things.
Yeah, I believe we can proceed. Great, Christian. Have we answered your question? Thank you very much. Thanks. So, guys, please keep going. Thanks.
Yeah. Now I'll talk about one of the most interesting sectors in the country, which is e-commerce. E-commerce, it was initially started in 2008 with the introduction of a company called Flipkart, and since then all the companies which have been in the field of e-commerce, they have faced an exponential growth. Currently, the compound annual growth rate for e-commerce companies in the country is greater than 35%, which is much higher than the global average. And the current market size is around $113 billion, which is expected to grow to $200 billion by the end of 2027. So this opens up plenty of opportunity. It's like all the e-commerce companies are doubling their capacity in terms of building their operations, logistics network, operations, smart technology systems, and even their payment systems. Everything, they are doubling their capacity, and a number of investors. If you see, Walmart has heavily invested in Flipkart, and Flipkart is aggressively growing in the country with building several warehouses where we can propose all kinds of supply chain management solutions. And all e-commerce companies, they are in their portal, they are selling a large number of merchandise, and in order to increase their efficiency in operations, they are using a concept called coming up with a concept called virtual trial room. So what it does is it enables the customer to choose better based on their physical appearance, and it is to provide a personal touch to the clients. Companies are creating, looking for AI solutions, which will be coming under a system called virtual trial. And companies, delivery companies, food delivery and e-commerce companies are looking for solutions in terms of drone delivery for food and delivering of parcels. This it has gained popularity because of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has necessitated contactless delivery. Kitty, can you move to the next slide? This slide shows a number of e-commerce players which are currently present in India, and if any Russian system providers who have provided logistic solutions or payment solutions to large e-commerce companies in Russia or any companies in the world, we can take your product and showcase it to companies like Flipkart. We have some personal connection with companies like Flipkart, Amazon, Paytm, Jabong, and even Reliance JioMart, which is coming up. And we can propose all the your solutions, and we can showcase your projects which has been done in other countries, and we can propose your solutions to e-commerce players in the country. Kitty, can you translate, please? I guess there is a question regarding this. Oleg?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. 1 second, I was just amusing myself. Yeah, so there's a question from our attendees. Can you advise, can you just, where to find some, I don't know, communication channels like groups in Facebook or information portals connected with IT in India, where, like, you know, industries discussed and where industry experts are gathered and everything. So something like that, like forums, or probably, I don't know, some communication channels IT related for the Indian market.
Yes, of course, there are some communication channels, and there are some associations also which are built by the IT industries. and they have the certain forums and live events and connections and meets and regular things. So I mean that we can get them connected over there, and maybe the product can be showcased in a better way. I mean, if there's some requirement like that, we can definitely look at that. There are a lot of associations and communication channels.
Yes, thank you very much. So that would be great to, like, if you could advise them some, very specific websites and forums and whatnot, right?
Sure. Can I resume the presentation, Oleg?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you about one of the oldest industries in the country, which will be oil and gas industry. This is one of the third largest market in the country, which consumes about $100 million crude every year. If you see the import data for the last financial year, it was more than $101 billion for crude. And because of growing demand in the country, because of large number of trucks, and which is serving 133 crore people, that is 1.3 billion people, there is a constant demand for crude imports, and all the refineries are planning for expansion. And a number of foreign direct investments are coming in form of billions of dollars from companies like Saudi Aramco, British Petroleum. If you see, British Petroleum has partnered with Reliance, which is the largest private player in the country in terms of oil marketing company, and Reliance is going to expand their refinery, and they are planning to export to other countries in Southeast Asian countries from India. So I'll give you a brief overview about the opportunities which is coming around for Russian IT vendors in gas and oil and gas industry. The first one would be physical security. Since you might be aware that some months back there was a drone attack in Saudi Aramco, one of the refineries owned by Saudi Aramco. So all the refineries in the country are looking for solutions which help them in protecting from such attacks. So Russian IT vendors who have anti-drone protection solutions, we can take it forward, and we can propose to oil marketing companies like IOCL, HPCL, Naira, etc., who are one of the largest in the country. And they are looking for solutions to prevent unauthorized entry of vehicles, personal and the fencing areas where these areas are strategically having high importance. Third thing would be facial recognition systems, which will identify if he is an employee or if he is a threat to the refining area. The second one would be information security. If you see, refinery would be located in one particular end, and the corporate office which controls all the data will be located in another end. So the data, this necessitates the need for secure transfer of information from refinery to hub, and a number of cyber attacks have been reported, and companies are looking for solutions against protection against external and internal threats. Third one will be cybersecurity. Since there is a number of remote working is happening, all cybersecurity solutions which will be applicable for data protection and information security, which was explained earlier, are applicable to oil and gas industry. Oleg, I believe there is a question.
No, that was just a question on how to get in touch with us after that, and we just did that. It's not a question for you; it's just a general discussion on follow-ups after the meeting. No problem. Just wanted to add that Balaji here has extensive experience in oil and gas, so he knows what he's talking about. And I would like to add as well that I think one of the major challenges in oil and gas sector in India in terms of IT is automation, because and I mean petrol retail automation in particular, because there's a lot of demand in the market. There is a lot of gas filling stations, but the control over the revenue stream, the control over quality and quantity of the gas that's being actually retailed is right now has something to wish for. So I believe industrial automation in oil and gas is a very specific field where some success can be met in the local market. Correct me if I'm wrong, Balaj.
You're absolutely right, Oleg. Thanks for adding that important point, which we missed out. Thank you so much. Okay.
And even if you want to see, the fuel retailing is like a big industry here. There are close to 80 to 90,000 fuel outlets. And I guess we have only one or two companies which have been doing the fuel retail automation. So, and hardly not even 20% of the fuel outlets are automated.
Exactly, and the business model that is oftentimes used in the market is franchise. And when you're using that business model, you face a challenge of control over the logistic chain, over the money stream. So that's a very critical thing in the market right now. So, yeah.
So, now we have discussed most of the opportunities which is available in India. I'll currently say how a Russian company can have do business in India and succeed in their business. The first one would be the model which they come up with for working in India. Currently, the concept which is gaining popularity is software as a service or solution as a service. That is, the companies do not own the solution on their own, but they pay for as a license fee per year, per quarter, or per month basis from number of users which company is using. Assume if we are proposing a cybersecurity solution to a IT company, if that is being used by 100 people for 1 year, we can charge it based on number of that 100 people. For each, we can charge $100. Or for per year, we can charge say $10,000. So that model is gaining popularity in India. The second thing would be creating reference. We have already dealt with a number of companies from abroad, and what is the key thing is creating a reference in the country. That is, if we are focusing on a government project, we have to create a small pilot project for the government to show that this will be the solution which will be able to provide you, and this would be the advantage of using our solution. By creating that reference, we can leverage it and propose it to multiple states which are looking for similar solutions. The third thing would be participation in government tenders. So in India, if you see, as Kirti mentioned, there will be expression of interest followed by tendering system where companies who will be eligible will be participating, and tender will be allocated. The award of tender will be happening. So similarly, all the projects under government purview, it will be mostly in form of tender, and it is important for us to participate in tender. So Russian IT providers, we'll enable them to partner with system integrator in India, and together we can participate in government tender. We can identify the right tender for us, and we can participate, and we make sure that the chances of winning are huge when compared to direct participation. And the fourth thing, the key thing for Indian market is pricing. So if you see, India is a volume-based market with a population of 1.3 billion. So the pricing would be key in India, and it is a very, very price-sensitive market. So we would suggest all the Russian companies to adapt volume-based pricing, and it will open up plenty of opportunities going forward. So to mention last, what would be the key for business success in India? I would advise all Russian companies who are interested in doing business in India to have a good local partner. So the role of local partner would be to enable you to reach government officials and open a lot of opportunity in India. And the second thing would be setting up a base in India. So I would suggest the companies to have a small office in India so that it increases the credibility of the organization. And in India, all the business people, they have a mindset that if you are meeting them face to face, it increases the chance of conversion of the projects. And the third one would be after sales support. If the presence of companies in India, it increases, all government and private companies are looking for after sales support. They have a mentality that if it is a China company, they just sell the products and go away. But they have a good opinion about Russian companies. To leverage that option, what we can do is we can set up a service network for the products which are coming up. If it is a hardware, and if it is a software, we can have a small team of your sales force to train and to implement whatever data changes you are making in the software or the solutions you are giving. So after sales support would be one another key. And finally, branding and volume-based pricing. So I mentioned volume-based pricing in previous slide. The branding would be other thing. So we can create a small pilot project for either government or private, and we can use it as a branding tool, and we can publish in all media and proper channels. And Tech Global and Anista together, we can assist you in all these things for your success in India.
Yeah, thanks, gentlemen. That was extremely productive and informative. I think that's it with the presentation for now. We have shared the most that we could during an hour, of course, like years and years of experience basically are put in this hour, but we have even more to provide. So do you have any questions, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen? So please feel free to ask. Да, господа, какие-то вопросы по-русски, по-английски, неважно, я могу перевести, если...
Да, также вы можете поднять руку, соответственно, там есть такая функция, и сказать голосом, если там нет возможности написать. В любом случае, мы всегда открыты для диалога. Следите за нами в наших соцсетях, соответственно, вы можете написать там на почту запрос, мы проведем индивидуальную консультацию, ответим на все вопросы ваши по любому региону, с которым мы там работаем.
Да, заходите поговорить к нам в офис, в федерацию. Мы работаем уже не из дома, поэтому всегда переговорки, всегда к вашим услугам.
So, thank you very much, guys. I hope it was useful for our participants. So, have a nice day, good weekends. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone, for joining the call.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Tech Global and Oleg, for arranging this call. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues.
Всего доброго. До свидания.
Счастливо.